Salvete omnes. We're back with lines 12 through 22 of Book 1 of the Aeneid. In the beginning part, we learned that Aeneas is a man destined by fate to found the Roman, a new Troy, and we learn also that Juno is quite angry. And we're going to dive into a little bit about what Juno feels right here. But so let's dig in. So here we have Carthago, right? Carthage was an ancient city. The Tyrian colonists held it, right? So this is one of those things. It's a note over here. Tenu erunt should be the form, so it's a perfect verb, right? Just like food is perfect verb. So in poetry, sometimes we shorten that. Traditionally, there's a long mark here, right? As we go forward, but we might see more verbs like this instead of that. And then we have facing or opposite Italy, and a long way off from the mouth, from the mouth of the Tiber. So Tiberina is the Tiber River in Rome, which is where, again, the civilization of Rome is going to be founded. Right, and then we move to Dives, and again, all of these things, Dives and Esperima, are pointing towards Carthago. Right, so this is rich in or of resources and very rough with enthusiasm for war, for battle. Right? Again, opum and belly are genitives. Um, then we get into this indirect statement here. So we have quam unam, which one, right? So like um, which one, which place, or which city? So we're talking about Carthage here, and notice that the pattern, right? Quam and unum bracket this. Which one, Juno, is said. This is a passive ending, right? It means to carry, but here it means to report or to say. So Juno is said, and then we have to look for our infinitive because in an indirect statement we need an infinitive. So here it is: to have cherished. And again, this is the one. Which one? Juno is said to have cherished more than all other lands. And then we have another ablative absolute. So with Samos, which is her birthplace, it's an island in the Aegean, with Samos having been esteemed less. Or with Samos having been regarded as inferior. And here's our perfect passive participle. And these are ablatives because we have more and it's a comparison. So we don't need quam sometimes, we just put it in the ablative. Okay, and so here we have hic in hic, right? This starts anaphora, right? And if we didn't notice, we have chiasmus here. So quam to unum, and then teres to omnibus, right? And then we have anaphora here. So we have hic and hic, right? And this verb fuit should actually jump up here to fuerunt. So here are, or were her weapons. Here was, again, understood Elias, her chariot, right? So she's got like her stuff there. And now we have kind of another indirect statement, starting here and then ending here. We have a couple other things to talk about rhetorically or poetically. All right, but here we're going to start with the goddess. There's a subject, right? The goddess. And we're referring to Juno here. So the goddess, all or now and then, or already then, makes it her aim and has a hope that this kingdom. This is our direct object, but in the indirect statement, it's actually subject. We'll touch upon this. This kingdom is to be, or to be for all clans. Right. So she has a hope that this kingdom is for all clans, for all families. If anywhere or in any way the fates allow. Right. So one thing to note is that this Ali is going to not be here. So with Si, Nisi, Nam, and Ne, every Ali takes a holiday, right? So a couple things to point out here too. We have que and que. These are just and. That's not necessary. So this is called polysyndeton when there's too many connections or too many connectives that are not necessary. All right. Again, it's to emphasize Juno's hope. Okay. For in fact, she had heard. Here's our head verb. Right. She had heard. Again, we're going to have another indirect statement. She had heard that the offspring um, to be established from the Trojan bloodline, who one day to overturn or would overturn. This is a subjunctive verb, but we're gonna touch upon this in class. Um, would overturn the Tyrian citadels or strongholds. Okay, so this is a bit of prophecy. So we're going to learn that Juno knows ahead of time that the Trojan race, or the descendants of the Trojan race, the progenium, where we get progeny from, are going to one day overturn the Tyrian citadel, which means this is referencing Carthage, right? Um, this is called a relative clause of purpose, right? So this is a relative, so it's the who, right? But it's going to indicate that Carthage is going to be destroyed by the Romans. And here we get more foreshadow too. So from this one, or from this side, again, understood she had heard that the people ruling or ruler wide as a wide ruler, right? So this in some texts is referred to as regnantem, which is a participle, ruling widely, and superbum, and proud in war, um, will come, or in this context would come, for the destruction of Libya. All right, so this is actually a dative of purpose, which we don't very rarely see. We usually see ad excidium, but here we don't see it. And this is a genitive, right? So thus she had heard the fates, right? These are the three fates, the three sisters, uh, were spinning, right? So again, this is all in one giant indirect statement, right? So we'll talk a little bit more about this as we go. So here we have Carthage, here's Rome. So Tyre or Tyre is over this way, and so the Tyrian citadel, right, they kind of founded this area. And then here we have Juno. Juno is denoted in her chariot, and here are her peacocks. All right, so that's it. Wale te omes.